Everyone, what's up? It's Master Roder here, and today we're going to be talking about the Game Awards of 2016 that happened yesterday. I didn't post this video yesterday because I was tired. It was late last night, and everything was kind of a raw reaction to everything that they have shown, both the nominees for some of the awards and some of the games that they showed off for world premiere trailers and such. So I decided just to hold off this discussion video until the next day, which is currently the 2nd of December, and it's like 7:47 p.m. at night. So I'm just going to say this right before we get into the actual discussion part, is that I'm not really going to go into depth of the awards that were given tonight. I'm not going to give every single one. I'm just going to give out the big contenders, in my opinion, for some of the awards. I'm not going to elaborate on them because really that they're subjective and you'd get ridiculed on whatever you would say. So I'm going to keep them very short-paced and kind of give a small thought into it because I really don't want to get caught up in the suggestiveness of people's kind of opinions, because really opinion is thrown around like a very loose word and no one can tell the difference anymore because ignorance. I'm not going to be held responsible for that. So alright, but first let's talk about the games. So let's start this discussion about the Game Awards of this year's 2016.
Come, open your heart.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to start off was a bit of the pre-show, and there's only one game that I saw that was on the pre-show, and that is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We got a new world premiere trailer, which I believe is called Life of the Ruins trailer. I believe that's what it's called. The trailer was absolutely phenomenal. It was beautiful. Yeah, I love the colors. I love the idea of that with Link in a blue. I don't know why the blue really pops for some reason, and I guess Nintendo caught that. I don't know. Like the trailer was so good. Like, oh my lord. So the things that were explained in the trailer was a bit more of a story trailer, and I'm glad for that because we only have been given gameplay, and it's best not to show off too much gameplay because then we kind of get the gist of it. And also, I'm not going to be posting any video footage of it because Nintendo is very strict. So I'm not going to get in their way with that. It's going to be very basic pictures of just the logo and maybe some art or art of the actual game. So yeah, I'm not getting in trouble with Nintendo. Heck no. But so some of the things we saw that was new, from what I was able to see, is that from Link being asleep for 100 years, it seemed like that there's going to be some past flashbacks, because we got to see the Master Sword. Link had the Master Sword on his back in two scenes of the trailer, in the beginning and at the end. And the Master Sword has been so far represented as being rusted and being old. And when Link had it, it was completely fine, like it got a new shine or something. So I'm lead to speculation that this is more of flashbacks to the past before Link had to be put to sleep or potentially died and he was resurrected. I'm just saying. So whatever happened 100 years ago with Calamity Ganon, or maybe some giant war or giant attack, that's what's going to show probably down the line through the game as you're exploring the world. And everything now is 100 years later after the decimation of Hyrule. We got to see a bit of Calamity Ganon attacking the castle, or pretty much decimating the land around Hyrule and the castle. And another thing, a big thing, we got to see hopefully a bit of Zelda. I'm not going to say it's 100% Zelda, but I'm not going to deny that it is not Zelda. It's like, it's like, what if? Like, what if this is a new character? What if this is actually Zelda? So I'm just gonna say we saw maybe Zelda in a blue traveler's kind of uniform, and it seemed like that this was probably maybe the before 100 years gap. Being that she actually has more of a traveler's clothing instead of like maybe a royal garb. How she actually showed in the very last bit of the trailer, where she seemed like that she was wearing a royal garb, a royal dress, while Link is beside her kneeling down. So, and another thing is that she was holding the Sheikah Slate. It looked like the Sheikah Slate. So, my question is, does she have a Sheikah Slate with her after 100 years? And maybe that's how she's communicating to Link, or is she giving Link a Sheikah Slate, and then the 100 years thing happened, and he wakes up and he's re-given the Sheikah Slate on the little pedestal, and you go out into the world, yada yada yada. So that's still up in the air, but the visuals great, the music great. Like, I'm looking forward to this, and yeah, that's really all I have to say about Breath of the Wild. Well, actually, no, excuse me, because I'm not going to separate these bits, because there was two things showed off for Zelda during the pre-show and the actual showing in the Game Awards. So that was the pre-show. In the actual showing of the Game Awards, it did show some gameplay with Bill, and I forget who else was playing with him. It was playing Breath of the Wild, and they were going to a shrine, and they were pretty much showing, I guess you could say that they were showing how you could tackle the shrine, is that you could go head on and try and beat all the enemies in there, or you could just take the more stealth approach and try and snipe with your bow and arrow and take out all the enemies. And if I remember correctly, I think they were fighting Lazals or something like that. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. I wish I'd written it down. I actually do have this paper here. But one thing for sure, that the garb that Link was wearing was definitely something. My camera's slipping. My camera was slipping. I was getting a little scared right there. But he was wearing a reddish shoulder pad garb. I don't know if it had any other colors. You could just definitely tell that it had red in it. It looked very interesting. We got probably a glimpse that there were going to be lightning arrows or something to that nature. And the Lazals, I believe, had actually sent out like an AoE effect of like a shockwave or something. Definitely something. But if you wish to check out the gameplay, definitely do. Like, it's on the Nintendo YouTube account if you want to check that out. But that was it that they showed at Zelda. I'm looking forward to Breath of the Wild. I really am. The second game. Ooh. The second game was Death Stranding. Oh, Lord. Again, Kojima likes to have everybody in question, like, what is he making? Because this trailer did not explain nothing if you didn't dive deeper into thoughts and kind of go with your imagination of what you already know about him developing this game. But the thing that caught me off guard was the appearance in the game of Guillermo del Toro and Mads Mikkelsen. Oh my lord. That threw me off so much, and the thing is that they look so realistic. They look like that they were actually in the game. It's like game companies just proved like that they can make something realistic. Like, I'm just gonna say that right now. So I wish we kind of go back and getting some more cartoony looking games. I'm just saying. But I'm really excited that Mads Mikkelsen is in here, because there was a whole rumor that he was going to be in this game. Now it seems like that he's probably going to play the antagonist, just from the way that he was perceived in the trailer. it makes more sense for him to be an antagonist or related to an antagonist. And Guillermo del Toro, he seems like that he's not going to be a very big character. He's probably going to be a side character to Norman Reedus' character, where Norman's going to be probably playing the protagonist, while Mads Mikkelsen will probably play the antagonist. And from one thing is shown is that Guillermo's character is holding a small little pod, and he hooks up a rope into the pod, which displays a baby inside. Which gets me to the idea is that the rope that he connected in there is connected to him or something along the lines like that, kind of like how in the first Death Stranding trailer or teaser trailer that Norman's character was connected to a baby. And that, I believe, is supposed to be playing with the idea of what Kojima's going on with the idea of how we have gone through evolution, of using rope and stick. Because he's been throwing that around since the beginning with the whole idea of using a stick as a weapon and a rope as connection type deal. And even at the very end, when they showed Mads Mikkelsen's character, he was hooked up to a bunch of soldiers, and once he kind of directed them to go, he unplugged. It looked like that he unplugged them from himself, and they went off screen. So I'm actually going to say a little theory is that probably to Norman Reedus' character is that maybe he's not going to be connected to a rope, and that's going to play on the idea of what happens to his characters, that he is not connected like everybody else. Because that's why it would show a C-section scar on his stomach, because he's no longer connected to a rope. That's the little theory I'm throwing around. But anyway, this trailer was beautiful. It did look nitty gritty. There was a showing of tank, and it looked like that it had like guts or something on there. That the wall of a bridge was oozing black sludge. It was nitty gritty, and it looked very beautiful at the same time. And again, I'm hooked. Like, I like how Kojima likes to do his trailers for this, because it really opens your mind to interpretation, to theories, and I really like that kind of style of doing that. So, and the last thing I want to talk about is the possibility of what the game engine that Kojima has chosen, and that is between either a modified or updated version of the Sucker Punch game engine or the Guerrilla game engine. I really hope it's the Sucker Punch engine that was used during Infamous Second Son, but again, it could be the Guerrilla engine. That's the two things that have been throwing around. I'm not going to say, oh, it's the Sucker Punch engine or it's the Guerrilla engine until we get further notice, and that will probably be on December 3rd when PlayStation Experience happens, and I'm gonna be excited. But that's all I can perceive through the Death Stranding trailer. It was beautiful, it was great, and I hope to see more at the PlayStation Experience. Oh, the next one, I forgot about this next one. Oh, Lord. When I saw this, I had no idea what it was. It was in space. There was something floating in space. And I'm just picturing myself, what is this? Like, it caught my eye. Next thing you know, you start hearing music and headphones. I lost my mind. Because the next thing you know, I see Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series. My sweet lord. I lost my mind and screamed at the top of my lungs because I love Guardians of the Galaxy. It was one of my favorite Marvel films when it came out. It still is my favorite Marvel film. On top of, say, Doctor Strange and a lot of other films made by Marvel. They didn't show any gameplay. They didn't show anything. It was a small teaser of Star-Lord's little player in space, with it having having a song from I believe it was probably one of the songs from the movie. I can't honestly remember. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it definitely blew me away. I already knew that there were rumors that they were going to make a Guardians of the Galaxy game, but I wrote it off as a rumor because really there was no confirmation. So it was like, okay, if there really is, cool, but I'm gonna wait. And it's confirmed. There's going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy made by Telltale Games, and I'm very excited. Next game is another Telltale Games that I'm really looking forward to. It's The Walking Dead Season 3. All I can say is that Clementine has grown up. You've definitely seen her go from a little innocent girl that was with Lee to this badass girl that has grown up in a world of decay. And I'm speechless towards it because I've played all the way through season 1. I didn't play season 2. I only played episode 1, and I saw the rest on YouTube. And after season 2 ended, it was like, what can they do afterwards? Because it was open to like multiple endings. So what ending was the true ending is my question. More than likely, it was Clementine probably taking the baby. I'm guessing. Like, I don't know. But in this trailer, it showed a family that was of Spanish descent, because they were speaking with that Spanish. I believe they were speaking Spanish, but I could be completely wrong. But I 100% think it was Spanish because I'm taking Spanish right now. They didn't really show that much. They showed an interaction between the family and how they were kind of like weaving through kind of the life that they're living now with the apocalypse and such as that. And all I can say is that they're Nimrods, because really, how can you not tell that this person's about to turn into a zombie and what's going on here? Like, I'm just saying, like, when the apocalypse happens, you know what everybody's gonna have. You know what's gonna happen. Like, everyone's gonna know what's going on. Like, I don't know. I think the whole thing of, oh, what's going on here, and that this whole idea of this in the zombie universe, it's funny, and yet I find it idiotic because really, But that's all I can really talk about The Walking Dead Season 3 trailer, because really, like, it was really good. It was a really good trailer. It's just a lot I can't really speak of. I would definitely suggest you go and see all these trailers and all these gameplay footage for yourself. And the last thing I do have to say for The Walking Dead is that it showed a release date for December 20th. And I believe the season pass comes out February something. I can't remember. It's in the trailer, so if you're looking for a season pass, it will be in the trailer. And the last game that caught my eye during the Game Awards is Mass Effect Andromeda, where they finally showed a good chunk of gameplay. And I'm gonna be honest, this game actually got me really excited, because really I was a semi-fan of the Mass Effect universe. I was a semi-fan of the games. The only thing that kind of put me off was kind of the gameplay a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just a tiny bit. But with Mass Effect Andromeda, it really clicked, and it really changed my mind. I really want to play this game, because the gameplay looked really engaging in combat, and was showing off that you were riding around, and it looked like one of the like little space vehicles that you would ride around on a different planet and such, like a rover type deal. And it was so funny. I was watching this on a stream of someone else watching the Game Awards, and a lot of people were saying that, oh, the character was doing like the whole teleport thing that Noctis did, where he was like throwing something and he would pull to it. I thought that was hilarious. It did look like it, but I'm really excited for what Mass Effect Andromeda has to show more. I don't think it showed a release date or a release window. I think it's still. I think before it said like 2017 when they first announced it. I could be completely wrong. My memory is shot at this moment. But that's all the games. Next up is the awards. All right, let's get into the awards, and I have 7 awards that I feel that were the bigger awards. Not to say that all the awards were small or nothing that I don't appreciate. Some of the ones I didn't put down here and will mention. I do congratulate all the people who won an award during the event. But these are just the 7 that I picked out from the actual event. So the first one to start off with is the Industry Icon Award, and it went to Hideo Kojima. Of course, that was already known. They were promoting it before the Game Awards even happened, but I'm glad that Hideo got an award, since last year Konami were just completely like both them and their lawyers. I just hate Konami. Can we also keep trending hashtag fuck Konami, because it is 100% true. They need to clean up their act, especially after what they did to Hideo Kojima. So I'm glad that he got an award this year, since they completely screwed him over with him not being able to get his award for Metal Gear Solid 5 last year. Like I'm happy that he got the Icon Award. His speech was very endearing. Of course, he can speak a little English, but he can't speak full English, because you can kind of tell from the way that he did his speech. And of course, that was before he unveiled the Death Stranding trailer, which again was very good. Again, congratulations, Hideo Kojima. Second award, the Best Impact Award, and this actually caught me off guard because I've seen this game. I actually really like this game, and again, I was very surprised that it got a nomination for this award. Best Impact Award went to That Dragon Cancer. If you've never seen that game, it was a indie Kickstarter game that told the story of a young kid and his family, and the young kid had cancer, and it was kind of the journey of the family kind of going through the moments of their son and that type of degree, and it was based off of a true story of the main director or person behind That Dragon Cancer. And not gonna lie, when he came on stage, he broke down crying, and I can respect that. Like, it takes a lot for someone to cry in front of a crowd. It really does, especially if you're very what's the word? If you're very proud and you don't want to do that in front of the stage, it takes a lot. And I do show my sympathy. I do show my sympathy towards the guy, because really it takes a lot. And I know what it's like to lose someone of cancer. I did lose one of my family members to cancer a long time ago. It's still very sad to me, but again, I can understand. I can sympathize with him. And again, congratulations, because the game definitely deserves it. It's very atmospheric. It really is. The third award is the Trending Gamer Award. To be honest, I'm not 100% with the winner, but again, congratulations to the winner. I was voting more to Jacksepticeye, because really I watch him, but I'm biased, so you really don't have to take my opinion to heart that you have to believe that should have won. But the winner was Boogie 2988. I've seen a couple of Boogie's videos. They're actually very, very good. I just don't watch him like a regular basis on like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier and a bunch of other people on YouTube. Again, I was rooting for Jacksepticeye, but again, congratulations to Boogie. Anybody deserves the award. Anybody that got nominated. The next is Best Performance Award, And I found this very funny because three people from Uncharted 4 got nominated for this. It was Noah North that played Nathan Drake, Troy Baker who played Samuel Drake, and Emily Rose for Elena Fisher. And I found that just so funny. I can't even remember the other nominations, but I just found that very funny that there were three nominees for the same exact game. I've never seen that before in my life. Never. But the one that came on top was Noah North. And I gotta give it to the guy. He's a really good actor, and I'm very surprised that Troy Baker... I would have laughed if it was Troy Baker, because he's been everywhere. Like, every single video game, you could just... He's everywhere. And I hear that he's supposed to be, like... It's rumored that he's a Kingdom Hearts character, that he's voicing a Kingdom Hearts character. If that's true, then I won't be happy if Troy Baker was in Kingdom Hearts, because he's a really good actor. But Noah North won the Best Performance Award. It's a true statement. He does a good performance in a majority of games that he's in, especially in Uncharted. And again, congratulations. Best Narrative, again, goes back to the same game, Uncharted 4. I actually 100% agree with this because I absolutely like Uncharted 4. I didn't get to play much of it because I don't own the game. My brother does. He loves Uncharted, and I got the chance to play a bit of it. I think I only played up to the 2 chapters. Up to chapter 2, I think. I don't exactly remember at this given point in time. But again, it was a good game. I do think that it lives up to being a good game in the last of the Uncharted series. So I have to kind of agree with the narrative. Of course, you don't have to agree with me. It's my opinion. You can go with what you will with the other nominees that should have won. This next one actually caught me off guard, and I really didn't expect this to be the winner. But again, congratulations to the winners. Best action/adventure game went to Dishonored. Dishonored 2, to be exact. Again, I was very surprised that Dishonored 2 won, but again, I gotta show congrats to the people, because really, I actually did like Uncharted, not Uncharted, I got Uncharted on the mind now. I really did like Dishonored 1. I didn't get much into Dishonored 2. From what I saw from Dishonored 2, it was pretty good. I did like the idea of being able to play as both Emily and Corvo, but so far I've only seen a bit of Corvo's story. I don't know what happens when you play as Emily. But again, it looks like a good game. I didn't check much out of it. I might do in the future, but again, congratulations to Dishonored for winning. And finally, the big kicker, the Game of the Year. And even though that a lot of people could disagree with this one, of course, it's the Game of the Year, and everyone's going to have their own opinion towards it, that, oh, Uncharted should have won, oh, this game should have won, or Overwatch should have won, like, really, whatever you feel should have won, then you should count that into your own accord, like, this game was the Game of the Year for me, instead of just saying, oh, that you're wrong, this should have been the Game of the Year type deal. But the Game of the Year award went to Overwatch. Again, I can't be mad at them because, really, Overwatch does look fun, and I'm not very big into first-person shooters because I just don't like the feel for first-person shooters. I like to see in third-person if the environment around me and the character. Unlike first-person shooters where they're just getting kind of oversaturated, they all kind of feel the same, but yet Overwatch looked different from out of every other first-person shooter that I've seen in a while. So I do give them credit for that. And again, congratulations to the people who made Overwatch. Also, thumbs up to the guy that went on stage and did that little Harambe little joke that he snuck that in there. I like that. Thumbs up to you. Oh my lord, that was funny. I busted up laughing. Keep him out for Harambe. Hashtag Harambe. Oh Lord. That was all the awards, and yeah, that was the Game Awards of 2016. And uh, maybe I'll do this type of video for 2017. I don't 100% know. We'll have to see what games get nominated and see what kind of games that we're expecting in 2017. So far, we got a good lineup for a couple good games. Now, if we can just get Kingdom Hearts in there and have it win an award, I would be super grateful. Can we start getting votes casted, please, and thank you. Uh, but yeah, um, I hope you enjoyed this video. It did take me a while to actually make this, especially being it's a long video, and there does go into consideration of I actually do have to look up a couple things before I do this. I have to gather my thoughts and also get pictures and edit this together. So it's probably it's a really big video that I worked on. And the next video will most likely be a video for the PlayStation Experience that's going to happen actually today, because I pushed this video back because I wanted to edit a bit more, and I still had to do one more part, which is this part for the awards. So you're probably seeing this on December 3rd, and probably while you're watching this, I'm probably looking at the PlayStation Experience and probably seeing if there's anything good. So if it's the PlayStation Experience, I'll see you there in that video, or if it's on a random video that I'll post, I'll see you all then. This is Master Adventure Wonder, signing out till next time. See you, everybody. Have an awesome day, and again, congratulations to all the winners who won an award at this year's Game Awards 2016.